90% of men now refuse to ever get married. Today's video comes from the China Unvarnished channel. Their channel will be linked in the description of the video so that you can go check them out and support them. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of men. 90% of men now refusing to ever get married. Don't forget to follow us over on Rumble. Most of our content is now over there and we're actively updating it. You can find the link to our Rumble in the description of the video, and we will jump into the video momentarily after a word from Angry's Crypto Academy.
You don't have a side hustle yet, you need to get on that. This world is crazy, and the extra money you can make from crypto can be a total game changer. So, I checked out the crypto course from Angry Crypto, and I was skeptical because that stuff can all sound like gibberish to me. But honestly, it was written so simply, even a 5th grader could understand it. Trust me, y'all, if you want to get into crypto and make an extra $100 a day just working for an hour, you have got to hop on their course. Click the link in the description for the best side hustle out there.
44岁没结婚，男人不结婚。
I am 44 years old this year and not married. The fact that men are not getting married is going to become a mainstream social phenomenon. One of the reasons is that the cost of marriage is simply too high. First of all, the issue of housing is right in front of us. Let's not talk about the house prices in big cities. Take 3rd or 4th tier cities like ours, for example. We don't even pursue the best neighborhoods. In an ordinary neighborhood, it costs 5,000 yuan per square meter. Let's not buy a large house. We won't even go for a 120 square meter house. We'll just consider a 90 square meter house. After subtracting the shared areas, the actual living space might only be around 70 square meters. The total price of the house is 450,000 yuan, and with property taxes, the cost is nearly 470,000 yuan. After getting the house, you still need to decorate it. Soft furnishings, hard furnishings, appliances, everything costs money. Let's calculate the cost at 800 to 1,000 yuan per square meter. The renovation and furnishing will cost at least another 70,000 yuan. Altogether, it's close to 540,000 yuan. Next, let's talk about the car. Nowadays, car prices are relatively cheap. For 100,000 yuan, you can get a decent car for daily use. This brings the total to 640,000 yuan. Then there's the matter of the bride price. Is 100,000 yuan too much to ask? By now, the total cost has risen to 740,000 yuan. Let's also factor in the 3 golds. A gold bracelet weighing 40 grams, a gold necklace weighing 10 grams, and a gold ring weighing 5 grams, for a total of 55 grams. The current market price is about 550 yuan per gram, so the total is 30,250 yuan. Let's round it off to about 30,000 yuan. This brings the total cost to 770,000 yuan. Besides this, women also expect men to buy them a diamond ring. We don't even need a big one. Just a 10,000 yuan ring will do. So, the total cost now reaches 780,000 yuan. The cost of the wedding day itself cannot be overlooked, including the wedding company, the master of ceremonies, and the photographer's fees. Add in the money for changing titles and giving lucky money, and you have to prepare at least 30,000 yuan. That brings the total cost to 810,000 yuan. Looking at reality, how many men can save up 810,000 yuan to get married? Even if you manage to come up with that 810,000 yuan, after marriage, the couple will still have to think about children. Raising a child from kindergarten to college graduation will cost at least 600,000 yuan. Without this 600,000 yuan, your child may feel inferior when comparing themselves to their classmates. Men, are you still willing to get married so easily?
只要我
Now, just to be clear, so just to get married to a woman today in China, it will cost you from the house, the car, the bride price, all of these things is going to average you about 10,000 yuan. That is equivalent to $111,000 just to marry her. Just for a woman to marry her, you have to bring over $100,000. This is insane. And many women are demanding literally right around $100,000 just for marriage. So $100,000 is basically $100,000 today is basically a steal. Now, and keep in mind, these are very low estimates because he's talking about he doesn't factor in the actual more like the actual cost of the house itself realistically. When you factor in those types of things, because many properties over there right now are averaging about $275,000 in China. 270, almost $300,000 for a house. And something I didn't know about this is that the CCP actually owns all of the property, all of the land in China. So you basically get like a 99-year lease to build and live upon it, but you never actually own it. Everything is technically owned by the CCP. That little detail blew me the heck away. So men have absolutely no reason to actually get into a relationship, to actually get married, to actually commit when you look at the kinds of demands that women are making. And then another factor is the fact that men are waking up and realizing that the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and they're beginning to see what marriage actually is. One of the things that a guy did recently, and I actually saved it so that I could show it to you guys, was he made a list of all the times he was denied intimacy by his wife. He made a spreadsheet, right? And then he sent it to his wife. And this actually goes back to 2014. And so check this out. So these were all her answers, right? So let's see here. The first one, she said, if the first, all right, so he asked, this is just over a short period of time, over the course of roughly 1 month. So he charted this roughly over the course of mostly around a month or a month and a half. And this is what she said. So first one, no, her excuse. He asked for it. She said no. And her excuse was, I'm watching the show Friends rerun. All right. Then the very next day he asked again. She said no. I feel sweaty and gross. I need a shower. Didn't shower until, and then she didn't shower until the next morning. And then 2 days later he asked again. And then she said a nonverbal no, basically shook her head, I guess. He then asked again 3 days later. Here she says no. And her reasoning is, I'm exhausted. So on the 10th, so finally the next day, she says yes. So basically this guy was begging for around 7 days. So after about a week of begging, she finally says yes 1 week later. Then the very next day after that, she asked again. She says, no, I'm still a bit tender from yesterday. Then the day after that, she says, no, nonverbal. So I guess she shakes her head no. Then the day after that, she says, no, I'm trying to watch the movie. Fell asleep 15 minutes later. Then the day after that, she says no again. Nope, correction. 3 days after that again. So he gave up and then tried again 3 days after that. She says, no, I'm too drunk and I ate too much. 2 days after that, she says, no, I won't have time to get showered and ready for dinner. We were 20 minutes early. The day after that, she said no again. I just came back from the gym and I feel gross. I didn't shower. And then she didn't shower until the next morning. This is gross. And this is women basically doing things deliberately to make themselves unappealing to their husbands. The day after that, he asked again. She said no, and it was nonverbal. So I guess, again, she just shook her head no. The day after that, she said no, and she said, I have to be up early. The day after that, she said no, nonverbal. I guess she shook her head no. And then the day after that, she finally said yes. So this was 17 days later after. So 17 days later after the last time that she provided intimacy, she finally said yes. This is a horrible relationship. Then let's continue. 2 days later, he asked again. She said, you're too drunk. The day after that, she says, I feel gross. The day after that, I think that's 2 days later. 2 days later, he tries again. She says, I'm not feeling good. I ate too much. 2 days after that, she says, I'm sweaty and gross and I'm tired. So he tries. So there are like days that goes by where he doesn't even try. All right. A day after that, she said no again. Nonverbal, so I guess she just shook her head. The day after that, she said no again. I might be getting sick. The day after that, she said, I still don't feel 100%. I just want to guarantee you she's likely in a relationship with Chad or Tyrone or Little Poncho. When he's going to work, Little Poncho is coming back and coming in and blowing the back out. 100%. 100%. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. She's definitely cheating on him. So the day after she says I still don't feel 100%, he not the day after, actually 4 days later, he tried again and she goes, I need a shower, I feel gross. The day after that, so the day after that, he tried again. She says, I'm too tired. Oh God. Wow. So this was on June 27th, the last time he got lucky. And then after that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days that pass in between. And then he tries again the following day after the 11th, and he gets lucky on the 12th. So 9 days go by where she says no, over a week, and then finally yes again. And then after the day after that, he tries again. She says no. The day after that, he tries again. She says no, nonverbal. So I guess she shook her head. And then 2 days later, he tries again, and she says, I'm watching my show. I don't want to miss anything. Do you guys see why men should never, ever get married? Why marriage is something that men should avoid at all costs? Because there is nothing to gain in these relationships. Basic guys, I'm telling you, 100%. Look at Bobby Altoff. She was there running around with every rapper, and she was doing things to make herself look unattractive to her husband. She played that dude so bad. And I'm telling you, this is how you create anger and disparities and ill feelings from one man to another man. Because she was running around with all these rappers out there. She has a specific type. She likes, I'm not being rude. She likes black and Hispanic guys. All right. And specifically street dudes. She likes thugs. She did mess with Drake. And Drake is not a thug, but she likes black guys, all right? Rich, wealthy black guys that are rappers or for the streets or athletes, right? Those are the kind of guys that she specifically goes for. We know because we've actually seen those are the guys that she goes crazy for on her YouTube channel, where she would interview all these rappers and people like that. If you don't know who Bobby Altoff is, you should go ahead and you can look into it. I'm not gonna give you a long backstory about this woman, but she's basically an industry plant. 100% an industry plant. Destroyed her relationship with her husband, who was a white guy, just so that she could run around with rappers and thugs. Okay? And barely famous athletes. This woman is something else. And she's a Gen Z. She's like 26 years old. She was like 26, I believe. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, these people.
As
long as I choose not to get married, my life is incredibly carefree. I can eat whatever I want, and as long as I am full, there's no need to worry about the whole family going hungry. No more need to scrimp and save just to collect the bride price, living a tight and frugal life. Since I decided to lie flat and live the life I want, I make sure every meal is satisfying.
What did I tell you about men? I said that the average man could live happily in a shoebox at the side of the road. The average woman cannot. I said that as things would get worse in the economy, men would avoid dating, marriage, and relationships and instead live simple lives of luxury and comfort. That's one of the reasons why I keep telling y'all to go and learn how to do day trading, day trade cryptocurrency, because you could easily make $100 to $200 a day trading crypto, $3,000 to $6,000 a month. Day trading crypto, working only 1 hour a day, pulling in easily anywhere from $36,000 to $72,000 a year, doing literally nothing. It's like a video game. We teach you everything you need to know how to day trade crypto over in the academy. But that's like the description. But I'm telling you guys, I told you this is what was going to happen, where men are basically, we're going to say that they're going to avoid relationships and dating, and now they're avoiding them. They're staying at home. They're living simple lives of luxury and comfort. Every meal now means so much to them because they have all the time in the world to cook their own meals, do meal prep, put food away. When you have, guys, this thing about being a man, you could do your food prep and then you put your food in the fridge. So you always have food in the fridge. You open up your fridge, there's always water in there, cool water. Like that's how I am. Like always cold, ice cold water, tons of ice cold water. I always have ice cold water. I always have food put away, leftovers from the previous evening, so I can heat up whatever I want. So, this is how life is for a man when he walks away, when he goes his own way, when he's just taking care of himself, and he's not in a relationship with anyone. you know and men are waking up and realizing that they can live simple lives of luxury and comfort, because men are minimalist by nature. If they just stay out of relationships, okay, because they have nothing to offer, and you don't have a relationship, you can use your hand. I mean, guys, it's much more fulfilling today just to use your hand, get it done within about a minute. You can use whatever content you like. It's much more enjoyable than being intimate with someone who doesn't even like you. And then within a minute, you flick your wrist, you're done. Go wash your hands, and you have the rest of your day left, and all of your money is still in your wallet. You don't have someone being mean and spiteful to you, and you don't have someone who's just trying to gaslight you and take advantage of you. Like, men have been conditioned now to be alone. This is something that pretty much every man has to come to. And when men learn how to be alone, and when men learn how to control their lust, they suddenly see how boring most modern women are today. They're absolutely boring, and not just boring, but mean-spirited and very dishonest. And men wake up and realize, they're like, yeah, I'm not putting up with this crap anymore. I'm done with this garbage, and I'm going to walk away, and I'm going to stay away from relationships with people who do not like me. I'll say it again. Relationships with people who do not like me at all. Because most modern women don't like most modern men. And guys, by the way, if you guys want to learn how to get out of the United States, if you want to learn how to start a business, different kinds of business opportunities, you can actually check out the Angry Guy Clubhouse, which was also linked in the description of the video. But I mean, modern women created the scenario for themselves. And of course, when they find themselves in extraordinary periods of hardship, what are they going to do? They're just going to sit on the ground and cry. They're going to sit and cry. They're going to blame everyone. They're going to gaslight everyone, because they've lived their lives being told that they're victims, saying that they're victims, so they won't have anything other than claiming that than screaming victimization. And the thing is, if you basically present yourself as a victim and say that you're a victim, you will forever be a victim. All right? It will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And after what women have done to men in society today, the next time something goes down and women need men, women are going to say, men, help. And men are going to whisper, no. We can see it right now. Trump is not playing around, guys. He just literally stopped all of the grants. No more loans, no more grants. All right, until they do a full review and find out what's going on. Letitia James in New York, this woman who's been the attorney general of New York has been going after him for ages, trying to charge him with different things. She's now suing the Trump administration for cutting off access to grants and loans, because somehow states are entitled to this money. You've got to be kidding me. I already told you, all of this money, that free money that women were getting, a lot of these people were getting, people of the different communities, they're not going to get it anymore. Modern women are going to find themselves without this money. And don't forget that this is what word on the street is, that Trump is planning to change the tax credit law. And basically, and I don't even think he doesn't actually have to change it. It's not even a law. It's just how it's done right now. Change the tax credit policy so that the person who pays child support is the person who gets the person who pays child support is the person who gets to claim the tax credit. So if a woman has a man on child support, he's going to be the one to claim the tax credit. And those tax credits are huge. They're like $5,000 a kid, $10,000 a kid. It's insane how much money you can get back from that tax credit. So now a lot of these men who are on child support, they're going to go and get that tax credit if Trump comes through with it. And a lot of women are going to be in pain, because that is a large part of their income that they get. Okay, the only way to rebuild a family is to undo a lot of the system that discriminates against men and drives men away from the family unit. But men are not going to return. Men are waking up and realizing that life is much better when you are single and when you walk away from dating and relationships, especially with people who do not like you. That's why I keep on telling you guys, don't worry about any of this stuff. Focus on focus on getting your money, focus on your relationship with God. All right. Focus on your relationship with God, because hard times are coming. The ATMs are going to stop working. Banks are going to chain up those doors like they did during the Greek economic collapse. Don't forget that you had teenagers selling physical intimacy for €3, and you a lot of you guys that were still following me back then when it happened over 10 years ago, y'all were like angry. That's €2 too many. I wouldn't pay more than €1 for that. That's €2 too many. A lot of y'all jokers are still around, lurking, listening. You don't talk, but you lurk. And the best thing you could do is to protect your wealth, safeguard your future with crypto, because when everything is going down, you'll still be able to get access to your crypto. You can have an offline wallet, you can have a hardware wallet, you can save your crypto there, store your crypto there. And when things go downhill, it doesn't matter because your money is secure. And Angry's Crypto Academy will teach you how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in crypto. We'll teach you exactly which coins will mint you millionaires and how to spot potential coins to invest in so you don't have to miss out. All right. Because this is not just an issue of making money. It could be the difference between life and death, survival and not surviving. And that the Academy is linked in the description of the video if you want to go and check that out.
Every drink is to my heart's content, and I never wrong myself. Now, I've even started enjoying a few drinks. Every time after a busy day of work, I pour myself a glass of wine, relax, and ease my fatigue. That feeling of relaxation immediately flows over me. Compared to the past, when I was constantly worried and anxious about not finding a wife, I feel much more at ease now. What I want to say is, once a person figures things out and lets go of the burdens in their heart, the pressure disappears too. Many people often ask me, why not get married? It's not that I don't want to, but my current conditions simply don't allow it. This is the reality.
Guys, look at how happy this man is. He's eating well. That's some good food right there. Bro pulled out the wine glass, okay? Pulled out the wine glass, comes out, gets off from work, pours himself a nice glass of wine, and he's really enjoying that food, tasting that food. Jesus help us, guys. Oh my, men are never going back. Men are never ever going back to relationships. Men are never going back to marriage. This is it. Men are going to live simple lives of luxury and comfort, and women are going to find themselves in tent city. It's not even a game anymore. It's going to be hell on earth, bro. It's going to be nasty out there, But I mean, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So I mean, good luck, ladies.
No matter how much I long for it in my heart, I am powerless to change the situation. So instead of constantly struggling and being conflicted, it's better to reconcile with myself. Lay down all the burdens, face it calmly, and happily live each day. After all, life is short, and the most important thing is one's own happiness and joy. Some people say, what will you do when you grow old if you don't get married? Honestly, I'm not too worried about that. The future is something to deal with later. If worst comes to worst, isn't a nursing home just fine? I truly don't believe that when I'm in my 70s or 80s, there will be absolutely no one around me. The rest is up to fate. What do you think?
没有结婚的人生有多爽，我今年37岁，没结婚。
How comfortable can life be when you are unmarried? I am 37 years old this year, still single, and living alone in Qingdao. I rent a small apartment of just over 10 square meters. As part of the delivery rider workforce, my life is quite carefree and free. Because my work hours are flexible, I can sleep in every day and wake up naturally. There's no busy 9-to-5 schedule, and my pace of life is relaxed and pleasant. Today, I suddenly craved leek pancakes, so I spent 5 yuan to buy some leeks and added a bit of dried shrimp that I brought from my hometown. Simple yet delicious. There's no cutthroat office politics in my life, and I live worry-free. Some people might say that because I don't have a steady job, I'm just lying flat, being lazy and unmotivated. But that's not the case. Although I only make around 80 yuan a day, my life is still pretty good.
Guys, do y'all see this? Y'all see how nice that food looks? Did y'all see how nice that food looked? My gosh, look at that. All right. And he's able to live on, he's making only around 80 yuan a day. That works out to $11 a day. So he makes $11 per day. And I mean, it doesn't even sound like he's working every single day, but even let's say he were to work every single day, let's say he used to work every single day, that would work out to about $330 a month. And he's able, because this is China, you can find somewhere cheap to live for 50 bucks. You can find an apartment to live in for 50 bucks a month in China, or a room, like something very small. That it looks like that's what he's basically living in. All right. So 50 bucks a month, that's likely what he's spending on rent and for housing and everything. He has everything he needs in there, cooking utensils, a place to cook and everything. And he basically is living far below his means. All right. So you can look at how he lives. He said that he brought some things from his village, from where he's from. So he still does go back. So what he does is he'll go home to the village, get things that are dirt cheap there, like shrimp, bring it back, store it, which is what men do. All right. Put it in a freezer or whatever, and then make healthy food. So he scrambled himself some eggs, added the shrimp to it, and then also I think he called it like leeks. That's some type of greens. And he's making a lovely meal, adding I think what looks like soy sauce to it, and that's delicious to him. That's a nice plate of food right there, bro. Most modern women can't cook anymore because they were taught that cooking is a form of oppression. So they want a man to cook for them, but they can't even cook anymore. And their only bargaining chip, which is physical intimacy, they're not even good at that. And men are realizing it's not worth it. Why would you even want that? Men are beginning to see like, nah, no, we were lied to. In my heart, I want a wife, but that's not a wife. Guys, she never liked you. She cannot love you. It's not possible for her to love you. It's all fantasy and Disney fairy tales that we have been spoon-fed. 100%. Absolutely that. Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy, to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom. It's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
But that's not the case. Although I only make around 80 yuan a day, my life is still pretty good. Since I haven't gotten married, I don't need to save up for a bride price, nor do I have the burden of a car loan or mortgage. I don't need to support a family, so my living costs are much lower. Financially, I feel very relaxed. I can decide what to eat based on my mood every day without having to accommodate anyone else's preferences or try to please anyone. For me, a regular job can barely cover basic.
Y'all see this man? Do you see how happy this little boy is? Look at these little guys. You can see, look, these men look like little happy little boys. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy watching this. Look at these happy little boys. Look at these happy little boys. Eating whatever they want.
Expenses. But even without a steady job, I can still eat well. After all, didn't we come into this world to enjoy life? Why force yourself to live such a hard life? In reality, Both marriage and being single have their pros and cons. Married people may enjoy the warmth of a home with a wife, kids, and a cozy bed, but unmarried people can live freely and unrestrained. As long as you learn to lower your desires, spend more when you have money, and spend less when you don't, your sense of happiness will increase. Today's leek pancakes were absolutely delicious, and I'm completely satisfied, enjoying this moment of leisure. Brothers, this kind of life is really not bad.
What did I tell you? Simple lives of luxury and comfort, living far below your means. All right? A PlayStation, guys, a PlayStation 5 or Xbox, these are one-time purchases. So, for example, if he wants something like this as a man, you just work really hard, work very hard, and that's a one-time purchase. A nice big television, that's a one-time purchase. A lot of men won't even want all of that. A lot of guys are more than happy with a gaming laptop. A lot of guys are happy with like next to very little. But even if you want high-end stuff, guys, you want a nice cell phone, okay? Right now, I have a couple different phones. My driver right now, my daily driver for the last over a year, has been a OnePlus Nord N30. This phone only costs $300. It's always on sale, but I like it because of the fingerprint scanner on the side and just how it's designed. Right, I can get something much more expensive, and I have more expensive phones as well. I've got 3 phones, but this is my favorite phone right now. And this is, guys, this is a one-time purchase. This is a one-time purchase. All right. This is a great phone. One-time purchase for me. One-time purchase. I can use this phone. Will get security updates for the next 2 or 3 years. Next 2 or 3 years, y'all. All right. I have no need to go and immediately buy a new phone. So I can keep using my phone for the next. I'm just giving you an example for most people. And that's what people would even like. If, let's say you use an iPhone. You can go and get an iPhone. You can get a used iPhone very easy right now off, let's say, Amazon or whatever. iPhone 12, iPhone 13 for like $350. And you can use that for the next couple of years. Couple of years. I'm just giving you an example. If you want to, if you're living on if you're going on a budget, and and again, that's if you have to have an iPhone. And then this, guys, even like for example, there's like I had one of these a while ago, and then I sent it back. I had an iPhone SE, and I got it for like $120 off Amazon, and it was a renewed device. It worked great, but I needed something bigger. I ended up needing something bigger, but it was a great device, and it worked really good. And for a lot of people will be happy with even an iPhone SE, $100, and it's going to keep working for years and years and years. Decent gaming laptop. You can get them. People sell them constantly, so you can get yourself a decent gaming laptop for, let's say, $500, $600 off eBay, off a platform or whatever. Sometimes you can even get them brand new, and it's a one-time purchase for us as men. All right, so we have our video games. We have Steam. We have GOG. I have, guys, to date for me, I've already told you this about my crazy gaming, right? Like, I don't have enough time to play as many games as I want to, but I have a large collection of games because I do use them in my business. I do have a gaming channel, which I do need to put more work into it. I also have a gaming blog that I run for you guys, which some of you are subscribed to. And I mean, for me, I have a pretty large collection of games. If we look at that, I actually have on Steam, I have over 700 games right now. 700. I have over 700. That's over, and those are games that I've acquired in the last year. I have over 700 games on Steam. On GOG, on Epic, I will tell you about GOG in a moment. On Epic Game Store, and most of 99% of the games on my Epic Game Store I got for free because I don't really buy games on Epic. I have 26 games on Epic. And the only game that I think I've paid for on Epic was Alan Wake. All the other games I basically got for free because I have Amazon Prime, and Amazon Prime has Amazon Gaming, and you can actually get a lot of games for free with Amazon Gaming. Like the actual game, they will never take it away from you, and because you basically get they give you free keys. So you can get, so just being a member on Amazon, you can get free keys for games. And I have some really good games on here, like on Epic Game Store. Like for example, there's a game called Death's Door. That's a good one. I have Jurassic Park Evolution, Skydrift Infinity. I have a game called The Bridge, Eastern Exodus. You know, I got some great. There's also some great free to play games like Infinity Nikki. There's a popular game called Turmoil. That one's real popular. I have Hell Loose. I have the Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga collection. I have the Lord of the Rings, Return to Morgue. Some of these games cost like $30-$40, and I got completely for free. I've got the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. Got that for free as well. I've got Britato, which is a popular indie game. Got that for free. I've got Zensless Zone Zero. I think that's a free to play. I've got Beholder. That's a paid game. I have Outliver and I have Empyrean. And those are, again, they're not all the greatest games in the world, but you know, these are just on Epic Game Store. I also got a ton of free games for GOG. I've got games like the Outer Worlds, which is a very popular game, and I got that for free for GOG. I already had it, but I just took the key anyway. And on my GOG, like I said, I have over 300 games on GOG, and it's like I'm able to purchase a lot of my games very, very affordably. Games that cost like, let's say $30, $40, $50, because I understand, because I'm a collector, I know how to get my games dirt cheap so I can get my keys. I get a lot of keys for like $1, $2, $5, because I know how to buy games. If you want to learn how to actually, get into PC gaming, you should actually check out my PC gaming blog. It's linked in the description of the video. You can go check out my PC gaming blog, Angry Gaming, and go check that, because I teach you guys about PC gaming, how to game on a budget. It's insane. I once you go PC, it's hard to go back. And again, not everyone has to get into PC gaming. Some guys are happy with a PlayStation 3. What a lot of guys are doing with PlayStation 3 is they get a PlayStation 3 and then they do emulation. So they basically put an SSD in there, upgrade it to an SSD, have all of their games on there, and they don't pay for games at all. So men are just, when you're a single man and you have nothing else to do and you have all the time in the world, life becomes extremely affordable for you. All right. You can basically live far below your budget. Some men don't pay for anything. Even though I buy my games, there's a lot of guys who like laugh at me and go, "Angry, you actually pay for games?" Ha 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 ha. Yeah, because they don't have any time. A lot of these guys are emulating their games on PlayStation 3, running PlayStation 2 games. Like, guys, I'm telling you, and they're living comfortable lives. And they eat what they want, they sleep when they want, and they don't have to worry about anyone making misery in their homes. And they keep their homes nice and tidy. Because one thing that men do is we are very, very clean. Something that statistically people don't know is men actually shower more than women do. Men actually bathe. They're more likely to bathe themselves than a woman is. And women are like, that's not true. We have to clean. We're cleaner than men. That's a lie. All right. These are actual polls that were done by like toiletry companies, and they found that men actually bathe more than women. Men actually take baths significantly more often than women do. Women are more likely to not bathe. The difference is that women take longer baths than men. Women are more likely to soak in the bathtub and so forth. Men, on the other hand, are significantly more likely to bathe every day and even multiple times a day than women. It's a very interesting thing. Very, very interesting thing. Modern women are cooked. They basically have destroyed their hope and any potential of them actually finding a man that's going to want to be in a long-term dedicated relationship with them because of how they behave and the way that they've been treating men in society.
Do
you dare to hear the truth? Let's uncover the true veil of marriage and see what its essence really is. Do you think marriage is for love? Don't be naive. The truth about marriage is that it actually provides stable labor for society's development. It's not for so-called love. The marriage law has never stipulated that marriage must be based on love. Many people just mistakenly believe that marriage and love are closely related. In fact, the real value of marriage lies in the rational integration of resources. Whether you marry the wrong person or don't get married at all, the key factor isn't here. The core has always been an economic issue. If you really desire to get married, you don't necessarily have to wait for so-called true love. Stepping into marriage with someone you find somewhat suitable is also a good option. If you insist on waiting for real love, then you'll need to be psychologically strong enough and prepare yourself for a lifetime of singleness, because the odds of love happening are pathetically low. Most of the time, what you think is love is just a romantic play meticulously crafted by the other party to obtain something from you. So when does someone love you the most? The answer is, when you don't love them that much. Human nature is sometimes really ironic. Many women love men who only want to play with them, while they choose to play with the men who truly love them. Love, in essence, is cruel and ruthless. If a man is over 30 and still talks about love all the time, then he's basically a lost cause. The reason you feel hurt in relationships is not because you lack charm, but because you lack money. Do wealthy people, like the rich, get hurt by love? Of course not. Remember this, smart people don't easily fall into the trap of love. Only foolish people get trapped by emotions.
没有能力结婚的男人选择单身其实更好。
Some men, when they are not yet capable of getting married, may find that staying single is actually a wiser choice. Many men clearly know they don't have the ability to support a family, and their parents can't help them either, yet they are still obsessed with the idea of getting married. Even their parents keep urging them to do so. It makes me wonder, what is going on in their parents' minds? And what are they themselves thinking? Without a stable job, with meager income, and lacking financial support, why are they still so fixated on marriage? After getting married, you will face the responsibilities of family and children. But what will you use to keep the family running? For those men without property, without savings, and with low income, the most important thing is to have a clear understanding of themselves. The reality is that you're just an ordinary person, and nowadays, more and more people are staying single. If you don't have the ability to support a family, you can totally choose to live a single life. Don't always have marriage on your mind, because it's not right for you. It's like someone with a small income shouldn't be dreaming of buying a Mercedes or BMW. Life isn't only complete if you get married and have children.
One of the biggest lies that we are told as men is that you failed in life if you do not replicate. There was a dating guy, a PUA from long ago, and he wrote a book called The Mystery Method, and he was very, very famous. He even had a show, and he basically came to the conclusion that human beings only have two purposes in life: survive and replicate. Okay, we survive so that we can replicate, and we replicate so that we can survive. This guy was 100% autistic. I'm telling you, 100% autistic. He was a computer programmer. Okay, and he came up with a lot of this stuff like peacocking and oh my gosh, it was absolutely insane. The reality of it is that we are more than our journey as men, as human beings, is about more than just mere survival. We know this because once people lose sight of this, they completely no longer want to survive. Our focus in life is actually purpose. It is finding purpose within life. It is a journey of purpose. It is not a journey of simple survival. We survive so that we can find purpose. Okay? And it is through purpose that we ultimately want to survive and attempt to survive. But if we do not have purpose, then we will not want to exist. If there's something in us that pushes us to survive, but eventually you just give up and you say, I don't want to do this anymore. For most men right now that are walking away, they're finding purpose and meaning in very simple things. They're finding purpose in just the joy of being able to survive in peace and relative comfort and enjoy the things around them and take in the things. They're kind of going towards a very Buddhist kind of mindset. And because of what women have done, the way that women are putting themselves out there and using physical intimacy as a weapon in society, and hooking up with 1,000 guys in 24 hours, 100 guys in 24 hours, men are seeing this and they're beginning to realize that if the way that women use intimacy is so problematic now that it's losing all value. Men no longer view beautiful women as beautiful. Men are now viewing beautiful women as ugly on the inside, and it's not even skin deep beauty. It's mostly just makeup. She gets taken in by law enforcement. They wash her face and take that weave off or those extensions out, and all of a sudden she's a whole different person. Like that Only Fools model who Control Alt deleted her boyfriend over in Florida. she looks like two different. When she's under arrest. She's been in prison. She's been locked up for a minute. And when you look at this woman, like how she looks without all her makeup and everything else, and how she looked as an Only Fools model, two different people, because it's total BS. It's total BS. Once a woman takes off her makeup, you see who she really is. All right. And it's not just the makeup, it's the clothing, all of this stuff. Take that away from her, and she's really nothing special. Really, really nothing special. It's society that puts women on this pedestal and simps that keep them there. Yeah, and of course I'm gonna have simps in my comments talking crap. That's why you have to be strong mentally. You have to be strong to stand up to these despicable simps. I like what one of you guys said is like, stop calling them people because they're not people. Simps are not people. They are slimy, degenerate, despicable individuals. That's who and what they are, and that's what they've always been. They're a bunch of punks.
Ability to get married and support a family, then marriage is a good thing. But if you don't have that ability, you don't have to force yourself. If you lack the ability to support a family, it will naturally be hard to attract women. Even if you lower your standards and barely manage to borrow money to get married, there's no guarantee that any woman would want to be with you. In this situation, if you still insist on getting married, the result can only be trapping yourself in a difficult situation. It's crucial to recognize reality and see how much ability you actually have. Do as much as you are capable of. Wanting to get married is a good thing, but the prerequisite is having the ability to marry. If it's just in your head and you don't have the real ability, it's nothing but a fantasy. Dreams may be beautiful, but reality is often brutally harsh. So don't waste your time on things that don't make sense. If you get married recklessly, or compromise just to get married, you may eventually find that life becomes unsustainable, and it turns out that single life was much more comfortable. If you can really rise to success after getting married, then why didn't you have this ability when you were single? When you're single, you can give everything without hesitation. But once you're married, with a family, wife, and children, the burdens of life will drag you down, making it hard to fully commit to your career. So, if you haven't found success or a way to get rich while single, things will only get harder after marriage. Therefore, it's important to face reality. I recognized a long time ago that my abilities are limited, so I live an ordinary life. I don't work overtime, don't work night shifts, and don't take on jobs that harm my health. Now, I live a carefree life, enjoying life's pleasures. I have no mortgage, no car loan, no outside debts, and no complicated social obligations. Life is extremely easy and comfortable. Many people envy my lifestyle and often ask me why I'm so clear-headed. My answer is simple. Because I've never done anything to harm myself, and I've never taken unnecessary risks. If you don't have the ability to support a family, you can totally choose to live a single life. Sometimes, the happiness of single life can be far greater than what marriage can bring.
And just to be very clear with you guys, think about this carefully. To get married today, to be in a relation today, you could really view it as a form of self-harm. All right. A lot of men, they are so far gone, they cannot listen. And the sad thing is that they have nowhere else to go. They'll come to my channel, they start to criticize me and say, no way, man, I love women and I love getting laid and blah. Okay, bro, I understand that, little bro. You're a bunch of miserable men, and Angry. If Angry has ever been in a real long-term relationship, he wouldn't be here right now. It's exactly because I've been in a bunch of these relationships why I'm here right now. I learned my damn lesson. This channel is filled with men who've been in long-term relationships, who've been married, who've been fathers, and had to walk out on their wives and kids. It's called MWA for a reason. And then when they hear things like that, they start screaming F you, F you, F you. Like, bro, what do you think this is? These are a bunch of men who learn their lessons the hard way, and men who don't want to learn their lessons the way that these men learn their lessons. Like I said, smart men learn. Smart men learn from their own mistakes and experiences. Wise men learn from their own mistakes and experiences, as well as the mistakes and experiences of other men. That's what makes you wise. So to be very clear, a lot of the men that listen to me now may eventually be even wiser than I am. I know you're like, how the heck is that possible? Because they're learning what not to do from me and from a bunch of other men, all right, as well as their own mistakes. And now they're not going to go and make the same mistakes a lot of us old fools made, all right? And they can preserve their youth. They can take full advantage of their lives. They can enjoy their lives to the fullest so they don't go down this path. Get it, guys. Women do not deserve compliments they did not work for. Guys, the first time that a man usually gets flowers in his entire life is at his funeral, and that's if he's lucky. Oh my gosh. I just have to shake my head. Guys, it's 100% not worth it. You should be working on your money. You should be working on your relationship with God. You should not be working on trying to get a wife. That's how you end up. That's how you go down a path of poverty and destitution and misery. I just want to tell you a little bit about the Crypto Trading for Dummies blueprint. With this blueprint, you'll learn how crypto day trading can help you earn daily profits, even starting small. Imagine making $30 a day with $100 or even hundreds daily trading small amounts. Working just an hour a day. It's written so simply that even a fifth grader can do it. With banks collapsing and the economy in chaos, this skill is your lifeline. Click the link in the description to check it out now.
很多人以为一个男人不结婚打光棍会很可怜。
Many people believe that if a man doesn't get married and stays single until old age, he will live a miserable life and won't know how to cope in his later years. But I can only say that this idea is already outdated. Nowadays, if a man chooses not to get married, a single life will actually be very relaxed and enjoyable. First, he no longer needs to work hard for a living, nor does he have to work overtime and stay up late. Life can be more comfortable and leisurely. Second, he can spend the money he earns entirely on himself, with no worries about running out of money. Whether at work or at home, he can do as he pleases. If he wants to work, he works. If he doesn't, he can rest at home. Life is completely free and easy. Furthermore, the tens of thousands of yuan saved by not getting married can be fully used to enjoy life. Without the burden of a mortgage or car loan, he can travel whenever he wants and wake up naturally every day, without breaking his rhythm for anyone. In addition, not getting married also avoids the risk of being deceived into marriage. Nowadays, the divorce rate in marriages is as high as 50%, but none of this has anything to do with single men. Even if on the surface there is a wife after marriage, in reality, he may have to work hard for a lifetime. Having children is no longer a guarantee either. In the past, people used to say, raise children to provide for old age. Now it has become provide for old age to guard against children. Having children has become a new burden instead. For those men who choose not to date or get married, the financial pressure of life almost doesn't exist. Even if the monthly income is only 3,000 or 5,000 yuan, it's more than enough to spend. Without the burden of a family, life is relaxed and free. Although they may not be wealthy in life, they are at least free and unrestrained, without having to worry about the trivial matters of marriage. At the end of life, what difference does it make whether you get married or not? Since that's the case, why not choose to live a carefree and transparent life? Instead of being bound by marriage, it's better to enjoy the present and live this life freely and comfortably.
Nowadays, more and more men are unwilling to get married and seem to collectively choose the lying flat lifestyle. So, what is the reason behind this? Many people might think that the reason is nothing more than the high bride price, the high standards of girls nowadays, or that girls today are too demanding, too vain, and that dating has become very exhausting. These are indeed real problems, and they seem difficult to change. But why are some people still able to get married? Do they not face these issues? In my opinion, there are two main reasons. The first reason is that many men nowadays have lost interest in women. If it weren't for the purpose of carrying on the family line, or because women have reproductive value, these men might not even care to engage with women. Normally, as advanced animals, humans have the instinct to seek a mate and reproduce as they mature. So, why have many people lost this instinct and idea? It's largely because the temptations today are too great. Men find that they have many more interesting things to do, far more appealing than finding a partner. For example, they can drink and chat with friends, talking about everything under the sun. They can immerse themselves in playing games. Or they can watch beautiful women dancing on their phones. And with a small gift, the women will affectionately call them baby or big brother. This makes them feel lost in the flattery, feeling extremely happy and carefree. These men don't have to take on family responsibilities. There's no wife controlling them, and they can spend their money freely.
Women don't seem to understand that it's not like these guys were getting laid in the first place. So men spend most of their lives not getting laid just so that they can find someone who, will give them access to physical intimacy for the rest of their lives. And then they spend most of that time also not getting laid and just being denied physical intimacy while they have to provide for these individuals who are just leeching off them. Men have woken up and they realize, you know what? This relationship with these individuals is just gross. It's toxic, and I don't want to be involved in it. And I can live a much better life if I'm single. And what I told you guys, I told you when it comes to Gen Z, people are like, Gen Z is the future. No, they're not. Whoever said that these kids are the future are complete idiots. They're not the future. They are opting out of society. These guys, every day it gets worse with Gen Z. All right, they're completely done. They will never be welcomed back into the workforce. What they are doing right now is a trend of like a violent trend of quitting, where they turn on their cell phones and then they go and quit, and they live stream their quit. They live stream it to all of their thousands or millions of followers, so they can basically shame the companies that they work for. Do you think anyone is going to work with them? Do you know that one of the main reasons anyone is going to allow them to work for them anymore? They're being fired rapidly. Okay, and they don't care. And what if the main reasons why they're getting rid of self-checkout is because of Gen Z? Because it makes it too easy for Gen Z to steal. Gen Z loves self-checkout because it makes it easier to steal. They are bad people. All right. So what you have to do now is, as men, we're basically we're planning for old age so that we don't have to plan for children. The very notion that you have children, so that children will take care of your old age. You're planning for old age so that you don't have to plan for children. All right. You don't have to worry. Oh my goodness, maybe I'd have children, and no, you have money. You have money, and money in old age is what will carry you. Oh, you're still gonna need someone to wipe your butt. Doesn't mean your kids would wipe your butt for you. All right. The reality is that we're going to have to stay in shape. We're going to have to be like Spartans. We're all going to have to be like Spartans. And we're going to have to like stay in, like, even at 70, we're still going to have to look relatively young. All right. We have to be ready for the field. We have to be ready to get out there on the battlefield, even at 70 years old. The reason why is because no one's coming to save us. No one is coming to save us. We better be able to take care of ourselves as best as we can until our eyes close. And even then, if we can't make it, well, we did the best we could. That's what that's what we know is there waiting for us. Okay. Self-sufficiency, learning to be as self-sufficient as you possibly can be. That Gen X is built for this, because we know no one is. We were taught from the very beginning, no one's coming to save you. All right. And more men are realizing that now, especially millennial men. No one's coming to save you. Gen Z, they're screwed. They are completely screwed. All right. I think they are, most of them already know that they're cooked. They just don't know really what to do. And they're just trying to pester society until they pass on, go meet Jesus, and, or go off to hell, from hell they came, to hell they shall return.
Very free and full of pleasure. Day after day, this kind of lifestyle makes them feel like they're truly enjoying themselves.
You see, guys, that's the reality. When you walk away from relationships and dating and you focus on yourself and your own happiness, you don't have to worry about a toxic relationship. You don't have to worry about being in a relationship with someone who does not like you, someone who basically just wants to extract as much wealth and resources from you as they possibly can. That is how modern women are. That's how modern women think. Modern women, guys, look at this. Man's eating his good food. All right, look at that meat. Nice. Look at that. All right, a lot of women won't even be able to afford meat anymore. All right, I think that's like some seafood. Guys, look at the face on these men, drinking alcohol, sitting around with some other dudes, just talking about whatever they want to talk about, going home and playing some video games, reading a nice book. Guys, collecting comics again, collecting manga, having a nice big manga collection, nice big comic book collection of old retro comics, because all the modern stuff is garbage. being able to wake up when you want to wake up, go to sleep when you want to go to sleep, not having to worry about someone pestering you, being able to spend all of your money on yourself, being able to have a carefree life. I'm going to tell you something. As men, you have to work on that. For me, right now, I struggle being able to relax. I can't. I'm just go constantly. Work constantly, because it's like I just have so many things going on. And it's not something that a lot of men should get too deeply into, because it can be hard to turn it off. And then you're constantly you're conditioned to make as much money as possible to take care of it, so that so that you can survive. But the reality is, you're just paying taxes to a society that does not like you. One of the smartest moves you can make as a man is to lower your cost of living significantly, and even move outside of the US, or have a place outside of the US, so that you can travel and go somewhere else and relax. Because America is a miserable place. It's a miserable place. It's an unhappy place. You just have to be careful. You have to realize, as a man, people are always trying to take advantage of you. It doesn't matter where you go. So you have to be cautious. And a lesson that I'll teach you guys right now is keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut and don't trust anyone. Those are very, very valuable lessons from Uncle Angry. But guys, I mean, what do you think regarding all of this? And just shout out to the 1 hour gang. Shout out to the 1 hour gang. If you made it this far, shout out to the 1 hour gang. Give yourselves a pat on the back. We've been not hammering out these 1 hour videos a lot more again. 90% of men now refuse to ever get married. They're not getting married. They're not having children. They're walking away from dating and relationships. And women are the ones who are facing the reality that they're going to be single. And many of them are so far gone, and they have that masculine energy. They're not even realizing what that means for them, that they're going to find themselves in extraordinary states of poverty and destitution in just a few short years, as men basically live far below their means and enjoy simple lives of luxury and comfort. And you saw that from this very video. That's exactly what these men are doing. They make small amounts of money, but by not having a wife or children, they have no responsibilities, and they can eat whatever they want, sleep when they want, work when they want, and not worry about anything else. And that's where the culture is going. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.